Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. I hope you're having an amazing morning. My name is George Wright III. I am your host, and I want to talk to you today about a surprisingly simple truth behind getting extraordinary results. When was the last time you felt a little overwhelmed? Do you feel like you have a lot of priorities, a lot of things on your task list? Maybe you've got multiple businesses, kids, family, relationships, things that you're all trying to juggle at the exact same time. And you've probably heard that old Russian proverb, if you chase two rabbits, you will not catch either one. And it's very interesting that that quote applies to a lot of people right now in life. I think people are really chasing shiny objects, especially in business and especially in the world. It's easy to get distracted because of social media and because of the media in general, and just a lot of stuff pulling you in a lot of different directions. But today I wanted to highlight a book that I go back to every once in a while, and it's written by Gary Keller. It's called The One Thing. What's your one thing? And The One Thing is a great book because what it is, and for those of you that don't know Gary Keller, besides having a best-selling book, you've really got to look him up because this guy's got some amazing ideas. He obviously built one of the largest in the world. He's realty companies. He's the chairman of the board and founder of Keller Williams. And he holds right now the number one position as the largest real estate company in the world. And so now, having sold multiple million copies of his bestseller, I think he's got some wisdom to really share with you. And there was a particular chapter in his book that I liked because it talked about when he felt really overwhelmed and kind of what he did about it. So let me read that to you real quick. He says, "For many years I suffered from trying to live the lie of success. I began my career assuming everything mattered equally. So in an effort to cram it all in, I attempted too much at once. Frustrated, I eventually began to doubt I had the discipline or will to achieve success at all. As my life continually fell out of balance, I started to consider that trying to live a big life might be a bad thing. When you try to live up to something that isn't possible, you can get pretty down. In an attempt to make it all work, I began to just bear down even harder. You might say I started to clench my way to success. I really did. I thought that this might be the way that you went through life with your jaw clenched, your fist clenched, your stomach clenched, your butt clenched. Leaning forward, breath held and body tight and totally tense. I just assumed that was feeding and feeling of focus and intensity as I struggled to live with the lies. That approach actually worked, but it also put me in the hospital. I also began to think that you had to talk like a success, walk like a success, and even dress for success. It wasn't me, but I was open to any way to make things work, so I took seriously the suggestion that you're supposed to just project the way you want to be. And the approach worked as well. But after a while, I just got tired of playing success. I bought into getting up before the crack of dawn, getting revved up, playing inspirational music, and getting going before anyone else. In fact, I became so full of this thinking that I would drive to the office while the rest of the city slept and then crash on my desk just to make sure I beat everybody else to work. I started to accept the notion that maybe this was what ambition and achievement looked like as I fought the good fight. I would hold staff meetings at 7:30 in the morning, and at 7:31 I would actually shut the door and lock everyone out if they didn't show up on time. I was going overboard, but I was beginning to believe this was the only way you could succeed and the way you pushed others to succeed as well. And this approach also worked. But in the end, it also pushed me too hard and others too far and my world over the edge. I was truly beginning to think that the secret to success was to get as tightly wound up as possible each morning, set myself on fire, and then open the door and fly through the day, unwinding on the world, and I literally burned out. And what did it all get me? Well, it did get me success, and it got me sick. Eventually, it got me sick of success. So what did I do? I ditched the lies. I went in the opposite direction. I joined Overachievers Anonymous and went anti-establishment on all the success tactics that supposedly built success. First of all, I got unclenched. I actually started listening to my body. I slowed down and chilled out. Next, I started wearing t-shirts and jeans to work and defied anyone to make a comment. I dropped the language and the attitude and went back to just being me. I had breakfast with my family. I got in shape physically and spiritually and stayed there. And last, I started doing less. Yes, less. Intentionally, purposefully, less. I was looser than ever, way laid back for me in breathing. I challenged the axioms of success, and guess what? I became more successful than I ever dreamed possible and felt better than I've ever felt in my life. Here's what I found. We overthink, overplan, overanalyze our careers, our business, and our lives. That long hours are neither virtuous nor healthy, and that we usually succeed in spite of most of what we do, not because of it. I discovered that we can't manage time, and that the key to success isn't in all the things we do, but in the handful of things we do well. I learned that success comes down to this: being appropriate in the moments of your life. If you can honestly say, this is where I'm meant to be right now, doing exactly what I'm doing, then all the amazing possibilities for your life become possible. Most of all, I learned that the one thing is the surprisingly simple truth behind extraordinary results. And what he's referring to in his book is that the one thing is, what's the one thing that you can do that would help you to accomplish everything else that you're doing? It's sort of that one domino effect. What's that one domino you can hit that will knock all the other dominoes down? And for some of you, it might be focused around your unique talent. It might be marketing, it might be leads, it might be sales, it might be relationships, and whatever that is, it's that thing that's going to help you to grow into the person that you want to be and create the success you want. Well, he also talked a little bit about how to get focused, and he gave an example. On June 23rd, 1885, in the town of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Andrew Carnegie addressed the students of Curry Commercial College. At the height of his business success, the Carnegie Steel Company was the largest and most profitable industrial enterprise in the world. Carnegie would later become the second richest man in history after John D. Rockefeller. And I think many of you know the Carnegie name, family, and fortune is just unmatched. And in Carnegie's talk entitled The Road to Business Success, he discussed his life as a successful business person and gave this advice. So this is advice from Andrew Carnegie. He says, and here is the prime condition of success, the great secret. Concentrate your energy, thought, and capital exclusively upon the business in which you are engaged. Having begun on one line, resolve to fight it out on that line, to lead in it, adopt every improvement, have the best machinery, and know the most about it. The concerns which fail are those which have scattered their capital, which means they have scattered their brains as well. They have investments in this or that or the other, here and there and everywhere. Don't put all your eggs in one basket is all wrong. I tell you, put all your eggs in one basket and then watch the basket. Look round you and take notice. Men who do not often fail. It is easy to watch. Let me restate that. Men who do that do not often fail. It's easy to watch and carry the one basket. It's trying to carry too many baskets that breaks most eggs in this country. So the reason I wanted to lead with that today is I think many of us are overwhelmed. Many of us are overwhelmed with the priorities, the strategies, the ideas, the things we want to do. And sometimes we fall into the trap of doing too many things because what we're doing is we're putting off doing the one thing that we need to be doing. And so it's so important for us to get focused, but it's also important for us to realize that doing more is not the secret. It's doing less with purpose, intention, and focus. So that's my message for today. I hope you can take that into your business and into your life and utilize it. Do me a favor, share this podcast. If you haven't hit subscribe already, hit the subscribe button and share this with someone that you know and get these ideas out there. Help us to grow the community and grow the podcast. That's my message for today. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will talk with you again tomorrow.